Hello, 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 and welcome back to MFA My Way. You might notice that I am in a different part of my apartment, and that's because I thought I'd mix it up a little bit. Also, my room's a mess, and while I should clean it, I don't really feel like it right now. So, this is part of my living room. This is the part of adulting where I choose to not be an adult. Let's see, what's been going on? Classes have been going really well. Okay, I should rephrase that. I am thoroughly enjoying my classes. I am not sure I'm seeing as much progress with this session than I did, last session. I feel like it's one of those things where you steadily increase and then it kind of tapers off and then you kind of keep going, or maybe you plateau a little bit and then go on a little bit more. I spoke to my teacher when I was signing up for this session, and she said that I am making progress, but I needed a little bit more time in this class, probably before I advanced to the master class. So maybe it's just me overanalyzing and being completely in my head, but I'm looking at the scenes that we tape, and I'm just not feeling so great about it. But this one should be interesting because we are looking at a scene from Friends. It's the Ross and Rachel breakup scene, and it's challenging for a number of reasons because, number one, of the emotions, and everybody knows Ross and Rachel. Friends is a very well-known show. I'm pretty sure most of my friends, see what I did there? Most of my people my age are very familiar with the show and everything like that, so it's hard to not recreate Rachel or Jennifer Aniston's performance in that. This is a pivotal moment in Ross and Rachel's relationship, and we know what it's like up until this point, and we know what it's like after this point. It's going to be really interesting to see what I can do to bring myself to the role, to get the TV out of my head, and to just be Sarah in that situation, and to see what my acting partner gives me, because we have the image of both characters in our head. It's not just Rachel, it's also Ross, and how I expect Ross to react. So when Ross reacts differently, it could actually take a really interesting turn. So that's in a couple of hours. Last week, we did a scene from... NBC does this new talent search, and it's kind of odd because they showcase the talent search ends in a group of people doing theater scenes. But you get through all the rounds by self-taping these scenes that are very active, very comedic. We worked on doing it full out and then paring it down for the audition so that we can actually do it on our own and then send it in. The good thing about self-tapes is that you have all the time to do it. I mean, not all the time, but you have all the takes. It's not just go in there like an in-person audition and you have one or two chances, maybe three if you're really freaking lucky. You can tweak this, you can tweak that, you can look at it and say, all right, this is finally how I want it to look, and I'm going to send it in. So there are good and bad things to self-tapes. I'm going home this weekend for a wedding to Ohio, and I'm very excited because I don't think I've gotten out of the city in a good 3 months, and with all that's gone on, I am really looking forward to going home and having a home-cooked meal and seeing my mom and my dad and my dogs and my grandmother. And of course, my friends are getting married. That'll be a nice little rejuvenating break. Oh, I read an interesting article. It was a couple of weeks ago, actually, and it's about the need for a mentor. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, I guess I don't really have a solid mentor figure. There are people that I trust and that I love having conversations with, and that if I had questions or a problem with something, I know I could go to, and they'd be more than happy to talk with me about it. But as far as a constant figure that I go to with conversations about the industry, I think I mostly have them with people who are my age. I think it's important to have someone there who has made it beyond the stage that you're at. This article suggested to write to someone who is at least 5 or 10 times ahead of you in the field in which you are trying to gain knowledge, and ask them to be your mentor. They have a whole different network of contacts and connections that you don't. I know for people like writers, I actually had a conversation with a writer about this. he took his book, his musical, he took it to somebody. So, like, I really admire you and the work that you've done, and I would love it if you could take a look at this and tell me what you think. And I don't know if they still have that mentor-mentee relationship, but the individual that he was approaching did take the time because of the letter that he wrote and gave him feedback on his project. So that's something to really consider, is to look at somebody outside your immediate contacts that you admire who's working and reach out to them. This one's interesting. Read a book a week. You don't have to finish the book in a week, but you should be reading a book a week on something that will help you improve your life. Books are a treasure trove of information and advice. Now, I think that advice point is the anomaly in this. Well, yes, we should be reading because we are creative beings, and I don't know about you, but I know that whenever I'm reading, I get inspiration, or I look at different characters, or like I write occasionally too, and when I want to make improvements in my writing, I read the books that I want my style to be like. It makes me want to go to the Strand or the Drama Books bookstore and pick something up just to see if I like reading it. And it's what, $20, less than $20. In the larger scheme of things, it's kind of a smaller investment that you can do on your own instead of continuously doing classes or what have you. I'm going to attempt to integrate these things. I have to admit that I've done miserably at implementing the previous Twitter things that I said I was going to implement. I'm on Twitter more, but I did not set those alarms in my phone to remember to do all the things on Twitter that I mean to do. This is a mental reminder to myself to actually get on that and do what I say I'm going to do, because there's no point in talking about it if I'm not going to do it. Because I can do as many of these things as I want to, and yes, I'm taking classes, but in the long run, I still have to implement them. I think actually doing these things may or may not be the big difference in my life. So today, after this, I'm going to get my ass on Twitter, and I'm going to finish memorizing my lines, and this week, I'm going to go to one of the bookstores after work and take a look at the acting books. I'm going to say goodbye because apparently I have a lot more than I thought I had to do. And I hope you have a great week. 2 weeks, actually. And I will talk to you all later. Thanks for listening to my rambling, because this felt like a really rambly episode. But, whatever. It's mine. I can do what I want. Okay. Have a good one. Bye.